Next up here I have from Arrow Video USA, and that is The Hills Have Eyes 2. This is directed by Wes Craven, and this came out in 1984. And basically what this is, it's the sequel to The Hills Have Eyes, and the survivor from the first one, again, this might be a spoiler if you haven't seen the first one, which I recommend that you do. The first one's amazing. But the survivor of the first one, he's kind of like in charge of this, he makes this fuel for like these, bikes and that, like these, racing and that. So, but he, kind of has this panic attacks and that, especially where they're going to be doing this, these tests and that, and try to promote his product. It's not far from where the first movie took place, so he's kind of like freaking out, and he decides he can't do it. So they're going to take his stuff and promote it and everything, get money for it, and hopefully become rich. And what happens along the way, like they kind of think the story isn't real, and they kind of think it's fake. So then they decide they're going to take this road off, the side, and that's sort of on the map, and they run into the same trouble as the first one, and so that's kind of what this is about. I'm going to try not to spoil stuff, but like I said, the two survivors that are in the first one are in this, and it's a different bunch of characters. There's one girl who is blind, and she's like a fucking superhero. She can hear amazingly, like somebody's at the van, somebody's doing this. I can hear this, like somebody else is here. It's just like it's a little bit too much. Like, okay, I get you, your sense is probably enhanced, but my God, they weren't even close to it wasn't a van, it was like a bus. They weren't even close to the bus, and she could hear somebody was in it. But I actually liked her character, to be honest. Like, it was different. And the characters are the typical kind of like, they weren't teens, but they were like probably early 20s, and they were likable. Jerk, kind of like don't want to listen to anybody kind of people. And I guess that, the movie was, I don't know, it's kind of like, it's bad. If you're going to compare it to the first one, it's bad. Even the directors and the producers and all that talking about this, they are not like happy about this movie. They don't like to talk about it, and they're not, they don't like it. They don't like how it turned out and weird shit. There's even a flashback that the dog has to the first one. Like, he flashes back to what happens to his brother, the other dog in the first one, and then what happens with him at the end of the movie. It flashes back to that, like, and it's just the kind of strangest movie. The setting's pretty cool, it's the desert again, but now they're like these guys on these like dirt bike kind of things and motocross bikes or whatever, and they're chasing like not Papa Jupiter, but they're chasing Saturn or whatever his name is, Mars and Saturn, and it's just like, it's crazy. They're not as scary as in the first one. The movie's definitely not as good as the first one. Like, and this is the first time I ever saw this too. I always wanted to, and I never did, and now I did. It was kind of like, wow, and I was excited when I saw that they had the same guy from the first movie in this, but he didn't do anything else. He just kind of was just like, oh, that's it. But they do have Ruby from the first movie in this now, and it's like 8-9 years later, something like that. So she's modernized, and it's cool to see what happened to her. Pluto was Michael Berryman. That's who it was. And then they're kind of like being run by, like, the first one was Papa Jupiter, and in this one now is the Reaper, his name is. And I'll tell you what, I saw the remake of this before I saw this one, and I think I remember liking the remake more. Well, I should say I like the remake more, to be honest. Like, I remember thinking the remake wasn't too bad, like, for a movie, because I never saw this. but now comparing them, I think I like the first one, the remake better. I don't know. It's not that it's good. It's just better than this. But I don't know. It's a very cool edition though. You know, it's almost exactly like the first, The Hills Have Eyes, the box. It's the same color scheme, same artist, everything. There's like the booklet and the poster and everything, which I'll show you. But everything's pretty much just like the first one, and it's cool that they did that. I'm glad they kept with the same color scheme. But maybe it could have been cool another way. Who knows? But what they did looks cool. So now I'll show you the inside. And here you have the front cover here. It's not bad. You know, it's pretty cool. I wish they would have had the Reaper in it more, though. He was like the only kind of scary, menacing one. But like they didn't really do much like with him. And I don't know who did the artwork. Doesn't tell me. But it does have like this. Like I kept it on here for this. I'll probably honestly get rid of this. But it has like the flap. And then on the back it tells you it has all the stuff on here. But you could take it off, and then that's the back image on the back. And there are the special features. If you want to pause it now and check them out, you can. And here's the Blu-ray, and it is region A. And here you have the sleeve. It is reversible. Here's the other side, and this is like the original artwork that's on like the VHS. And then of course you have on this side the newer artwork here. And to be honest, I'm probably going to reverse it to this because, you know, this one is on the box and everything. But I kind of like both. This is more Mad Max looking to me, which is kind of like, in a way, what the original one was supposed to be, in a way like. And not post-apocalyptic, but just like fucking freaky and like, you know, backwoods. Like the dressing, like, definitely wasn't, they definitely inspired, I should say they inspired Mad Max. That's what I should have said. But, yeah, I definitely think I'm going to reverse it to this. And I almost like this artwork more. It's a very weird color scheme, but I definitely like it. Which one do you like? You also get 6 postcards here, you know, on the inside. Pretty cool. That one, I don't even know what language that is, but there's one there. I'm doing this backwards. But yeah, you get 6 postcards inside here. And, you know, that's pretty cool. You also get this booklet, and there's the cover to it when they're on like the motocross bikes or whatever they are. Pretty thick booklet, to be honest. And inside, you got some, you know, cast and crew. I haven't done this in a while. All this kind of stuff. You know, stories and stuff like that. Pictures, images, all that. About the transfer. And then the back is just that. You also get this folded poster inside, and there's this cover, you know, with the new artwork, and then you can reverse it to this side, which is the old artwork, which is very cool. I'm glad they, you know, they reverse it like that. I'm glad you're allowed to put whatever side you want on. So yeah, The Hills Have Eyes 2, not really a great movie. Very cool addition though. If you do like the movie, you know, definitely get this one. And the first box set's very cool. It's almost identical. Very cool. And the interviews on here are really, really interesting as well. You know, a lot of good special features on here. So I don't know what it's upgraded from because I never had another edition of this. So I don't know what it's upgraded from, but it's very cool. One thing I will say though, I don't care about postcards. I don't know what to do with them. They just sit in there. I'm not going to send them off to anybody. They're cool to look at like once, and then I just put them right back in the case. So I think postcards are kind of like a waste of time. But and I think posters are cool. It's just I have so many and not enough wall space for them. But you know, at least it's something. You know, and this is a really, really cool edition. They really did a great job. So yeah, I would definitely say check it out. The picture looked good, and the captions were good. I watched it with captions. And it's not a great movie, but it's watchable. But don't go into this thinking it's going to be as good as the first one, because it's not. And it's a very kind of strange movie. But yeah, so that's it. That's The Hills Have Eyes Part 2.